Hey folks, we're looking at RaiderZ today, which is the latest from Perfect World. It's kind of a mix between Terra and Monster Hunter, Capcom's super popular monster hunting fare. Now, from Terra you've obviously got the action, which is very important. I'll get onto that in a moment. And from Monster Hunter you've got the huge monsters, but also the kind of way that you need to take them down. You need to almost monitor their moves and learn how to react to them. Now that's why being able to fight well is important. Being able to have at least a degree of control over your character, over the dodging. And although it works most of the time, there is the odd occasion where it doesn't really feel right. It doesn't really feel... you sit there and tapping at it rather than pressing it once and it working. It becomes... it's all part of this quite tense dance almost you're doing with the enemy monster. And that's a pretty good way of describing it actually, because it is about monitoring their moves and reacting to it as much as it is just kind of piling it on. It's not really the sort of game where you feel you can tank things very much. You need to be as mindful of defense at times, or at least their attack, as you are your own moves and your own attacks. Underneath the Monster Hunter inspired moments, there is a pretty standard MMORPG. You're gonna do quests, you're going to get experience, you're going to upgrade weapons and craft new weapons. But then there's this on top, and I think this on top actually makes it feel a bit fresher. I mean, the graphics are pretty fantastic as well, which is nice to see. That makes it feel a bit better than perhaps something like Perfect World, where it feels very generic. Whereas this, it might play slightly generic, but it looks newer, and that's a lot of what I get from this game actually. It's built upon successful parts of other games. It's not brand new, it's not all super exciting. This is a game that offers new things without straying too much from the familiar, and I like that. I do like that. And it does help that the game looks great and plays great. Now we're going to skip forward a little bit here now and just, here we go, have a look at one of the more traditional RPG elements, you know. You're talking to people who have got exclamation marks above their heads. You're going through, you're accepting quests in which you will receive money and experience after completion. It's worth noting that the camera's actually moved with the mouse in this. A lot of it's done with the mouse, and I mean, more specifically, you don't have to press any mouse buttons. There's not a pointer or anything, which is it's nice again. Many of the quests will have you just going out and fighting 5 monsters, for instance, but you don't really mind. That's what's so nice about it. You don't really feel like you're grinding. You're going out time and time again and doing the same thing, because the battle system, you're going to fight each monster in a different way. Anything above a certain size will require you to have at least a level of involvement, which I think is where a lot of the smaller MMOs, or at least the older style MMOs, fail, because all you're doing is tapping perhaps the one key. And even though the difference is you're tapping a different button, you're still tapping the one key. In fact, if you're using your magic, despite that, you've got more involvement.
was it?
One thing I do have to say is the character
Adios.
design in this is
There is
pretty
something you
effeminate.
need to do for me.
The character creation screen,
Goodbye.
it was something else. I do feel that this is a game that it's the one to beat so far. This is one of the first MMOs I've played in 2013. I played a lot in 2012, and this is the one at the minute to beat. This is the one that it's new enough that it's worth playing. And
This skill is
if you have
not
any
available.
interest in a new sort of MMORPG, if you have any interest in playing something free that's of the style of kind of Terra or even Guild Wars to a certain extent, this is one of the first games that I've seen that is up to that standard. And I think that should be enough that most people should want to play it. For more detail, go across to the website. There's a link in the description below. Be sure to subscribe by clicking above, because we're going to have more reviews over the coming weeks, as well as our fantastic Guild Wars diary, so check it out. Thanks for watching.